All right, Countermeasures Theory Trader back with another trade recap of a trade that was took today for the New York session. So let's get into it. Now, obviously, just because you have a pair on your watch list doesn't mean it's going to work out. I had all of these trades that look good for the 9 o'clock expansion candle, but the only one that really played out was eurocad. So I'll get into that, then I'll just review the others to know when to not get out of it. So here's what we saw. This was an example like I call it a false breakout CRT, meaning that if the high is not broken of the preceding range or the range before, that red candle right there, see this green close was only 5 pips above it, right? And it made this big old high right here, that big spike. So we're only focused on these 3 candles. Forget everything else. Okay, this is a 1700 or 5 p.m., 1 a.m., 9 a.m. This is the 8-hour chart. Okay. Probably would have worked out on the 4 as well, 4-hour chart, because this was a 9 a.m. entry. Both the 8 a.m. and 4 a.m. have both the 4-hour and the 8-hour chart have a 9 a.m. open. So remember our rules generally for a distribution candle, at least mine. I like to see a wick that is shallow or not that big, about 10 pips or so. So when we drop down to the lower time frame and bring our template up for New York, that's this. Okay, here we go. This yellow box here is the 9 a.m. open. Right, so I only trade the first hour of each chart, and I try to, if the trade works out, I try to shove as many entries into that window as possible. That way, I can capitalize on whatever the move is, and then just go ahead and get out. So this little window right here was all that we had. So my entry was right here. Let me bring up the gaps. Hold on. Fair value gaps are the best best indicator to me that there is momentum or life in the trade. So this was 9 a.m. open. The best entry would have been up here at 9:20. Okay, but I didn't get in until right here because I was actually trading another pair, which I'll get into in a little bit. So the majority of my entries were right in here, anticipating this fair value gap to hold. Okay, because by the time this box ends at 10, I'm not trading anymore. I want to see take profit, sit at that point. So that worked out. I did like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 entries, and it dropped. Well, this dropped 34 pips, but I don't know if I stayed into that long. I'm going to be honest with you. I just saw a good risk to return, and I just went ahead and closed all the positions. So, but that was the trade there. So again, this is all I'm looking for right here. Okay, that right there, that is the 9 a.m. candle. Okay, you look for the high or the high of this candle to hold. Fair value gap, show momentum, and I just get in wherever I can between 9 and 10, and that's it. And then I take the meat of the move. So it could keep dropping, but even if it does or doesn't, I don't care. I'm already out. So that's that. Now, I'm going to take a look at the trade that I did take that lost, which was dollar Swiss, and how I knew to get out. I had a short bias on this one because, let me get the 8-hour chart back up. Right, and this is why you have to be ruthless with your trades. I only have an hour, so if something's not showing me what I want to see immediately, I'm out. Okay, I'm going to get out. So obviously we see here, typical candle range theory setup. Okay, candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. But notice how it opened, went down, and then boom, exploded up, right? So I got in. Let's see, let me bring back up the template. There we go. Okay, so price, let me go here. Price did a straight drop, so I got in expecting price to break out of the range, but then it started coming back, and there was a fair value gap right here, but that disappeared, and then it came back up again. And once it starts going up above the open price and breaking out the range, I'm out. Like, hey, you didn't do what I thought. Now, is it possible you could take this for a long and reverse your bias? Yeah, but I don't trade like that. I like to see my bias play out. If it does something foreign, I just find something else. Okay, I'm ruthless. Okay, and the beautiful part about distributions or trading the distributions like this, you're gonna have small stop losses by default because remember, I only want to see price go up like 10 pips from the open, or ideally not even break out the range. So that's like a 3 pip allowance for price to go up a little bit before it should go back down. So this right here was my warning sign that, hey, look, price should be going down, not up by 9:35. See, my time is running out. See, this is a red flag, but this is the green flag. You just want to see straight drop, okay? With the open price being, it can hit it, but it shouldn't close above it. How I knew to get out of this was, of course, number one, the fair value gap disappearing right here at 9.45, and then as well the open price being. I was out by this time anyway because you just have options, but obviously had I stayed in holding and hoped that it would go down, obviously it didn't, and I would have got wiped out. So trading in a narrow window is definitely helpful. Did I take any others? I don't think I did. And I don't know if any other trades played out or not for my bias. I don't think so. But let's take a look. Obviously, though, GCAD did work out as well, but it had a little bit of a longer wick than I like to see because this trade went up like 25 pips. That's not my ideal distribution. So can it keep going? Yes, it can. It's just no. I like what eurocad did better. I want to see straight movement, straight, and that's it. G Aussie, longer wick, so no. Euro dollar had a long bias on it, but it went up and then started going down. I didn't take it though, but I'm just showing you, everything's not going to work out. GU, it did go up. Let's check this one out. You might have got some action off of this, but this might have been like a spike up and then a retrace. See, like this here, straight rise. So if you had something, if you'd have got in right at 9 o'clock with, like, say, maybe a 10 pip stop loss. Let's see what that. I'm just curious on this, but like I said, I didn't take this one. But yeah, that's a 1 to 4 right there. Yeah, 10 pip stop. That would have been good. Okay, you don't need 1,000 pips though. I promise you really don't. Okay, but yeah, 1 to 4 on that, just a straight rise. Now it's coming back though, so that's my move right there. So that bias did play out. That was good. Let's go back to the 8-hour. I don't think euro dollar did play out though. No, it did. It went up some, but now see it's coming back. Let's see, Aussie dollar. I had a short bias on this one, but as you can see, it's still rising. So nope. Because if the bias was legit, it should still be red. The fact that it's green and we started at 9, no. Okay, remember, it doesn't take all day for the trade to play out. CAD, this might be, let me see. The CADs I think were generally short, but this one, let me see how long the wick was. This was the open. Yeah, that's in the allotted time frame. So if you'd got, let's see here, short. If you did a perfect short there, with like a tiny stop loss, since that's already 10 pips, maybe like a 5 pip stop loss or so, and maybe a 20 pip take profit. That's 1 to 3. Not much room, but I mean, you really would have had to shove those entries in there. But that did play out. So that was, you would have been out by 9:55. Entry would have been at 9:15, and at 9:55 you would have been out, or 10:50, 10:05 rather. You would have been out for 1 to 3, 1 to 3.6. So that's pretty good. But like I said, 10 pips is my max for the open. And now you see, obviously it's retracing. It may drop again. Let me see if there's any gaps here, or if there are any fair value gaps to the left of the setup that could have keyed us in to this price bouncing there. Nope. At least not presently. So yeah. But anyway, okay. And then Aussie CAD. Get rid of this. I'm just reviewing these for the sake of reviewing them. So once again, while this may be tempting, I only trade distribution candles, so I don't want to see big retraces. When price starts to retrace hours into the trade, it's 2 o'clock right now. Profit should have been taken. So let me see this one. That's a 7 pip wick, so that probably was the same as the New Zealand CAD, so that's fine. Pound Swiss, I had a short bias on this, but as you can see, it just went straight up, so no thanks. And Aussie Swiss, same thing. I had a short bias because you see candle 1, candle 2, and then it just went straight up. So, but I didn't even take that, so that was it. All right, so eurocad though, again, that was the trade of the day. Distribution candle. This is how they all should look. Okay, I strive to be a distribution candle specialist. That's all I want to see right here, with about a 10 pip wick at the top and then straight action. Anything else, I'm out. So hope that helps. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.